welcome to another episode of Bold and Brown.
My name is Rupa.
And my name is Vinay.
Yes, and if you haven't already seen a few of our videos, please do subscribe, please do join and comment. We love as many comments as possible. We love to just interact with you guys as well and share your thoughts.
As long as they're positive, we don't
Well,
mind.
we can take the
We
criticism,
take
don't
criticism as
worry.
well. We
Yeah.
take it. It depends how you say it. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
you're feeling and saying, I feel that, if you're going to criticize somebody, you can do it respectfully and politely. That's just my humble opinion.
Well, he's a lawyer, so he has to, right?
Yes, yeah. There's some common phrases you say to other lawyers when or there's the usual way of saying things.
Yeah.
If you disagree, but you want to disagree with respect and politeness.
I tell you what, when I went, so we're coming off the topic completely, but since we're on the subject, when I went to a court case with him for the first time, obviously not as a client, but just as his wife, okay, before you get ideas. And I was like, oh, let me see him in his role, let me see him on the job and see how he is. I tell you, I've never seen the man speak like so well Oxford English, like your worships and like you, and I'm like, you think you were born in Buckingham Palace or something?
You got to put it on. It's like if I'm going to meet my friends, like, yo, bro, what's going on? What are you saying, man? We're going to go gym. Yeah, we're going to
Different
hit it hard.
hats,
Yeah,
different
if I'm
hats.
talking to the lady, then I have to turn on the
Well,
Romeo
ladies,
and
how you
what are you
doing?
saying?
Joey. Okay, anyway, let's crack on, Vin, and you can introduce the
Let's
topic.
talk about mentors. Let's talk about mentorship. Let's talk about why. I mean, the topic is why are mentors non-negotiable? And first and foremost, it's really important that we understand we, you, me, I, Rupa, everyone. We've all had mentors since we're really young. We've all had mentors. We've all had mentorship. They've come in the form of parents.
Yeah.
Then they come in the form of families, then extended families, then your friends, then your teachers, people who have played an influence. You may not have called them the word mentors, but they were somebody you emulated, you subconsciously or consciously copied. You wanted to be like them. You listen to their advice, but they may not be giving advice. You're seeing what they do. Sometimes I know, Rupa would ask me, or we'll go out, and sometimes I find a spot which is a bit cheaper in parking, or I may walk. And she says, "Why do you do that?" And I go, "Well, my dad always did it." My dad. So I got that from a very young age, and there's certain things that we pick up. So we've had mentors throughout our lives. I'm saying, why don't we be intentional about getting the right mentors?
Absolutely. And, he's right. If sometimes you're thinking, oh, well, I need a mentor, I don't have one, I've never had one. You have had one. And, a lot of the time we follow our parents' roots, our parents' decisions. I mean, think about it. We've been told from the day we were born, right? Like, okay, what we're gonna eat for our food, what school we're gonna go to, how we're gonna dress.
Who are you going to marry?
Sometimes, in some case, who you're gonna marry. That was a choice. And maybe even what university you're going to go to, what car you're going to buy. And by the way, I'm the one who decides what car we're going to buy, just in case you're wondering. So, you do have people who are going to advise you, who are maybe more experienced. And sometimes you may be advised by people who are giving you not the good advice. They're giving you advice which they think it's right because it's you, but it's not right for you. Like we come from a different generation now. And it's really important to understand like whatever you want in your life, in your path, like it's important for everyone to have a mentor in all different phases of your life. Like you need, and you can have different people for different things, right? So we'll go into that.
Yeah, I mean, I have. So, for example, I have a mentor who's a friend for gym. I mean, I had private personal training for a number of years, actually. The one personal trainer, God rest his soul, passed away now. I learned so much from him. People ask me how I feel about him. I love him and I hate him all at the same time.
I remember those
Remember
days. You
those
used to
days?
come home and be like, "Oh, I can't stand him.
He-
I hate his guts." And then at the same time, he pushes you.
Yeah.
So,
So, and then, I had another personal trainer, I had another personal, some lasted a few months. But one of my good friends, who's out of the country now, and sometimes we're not so friends always as well, because we argue about different things, but I got to hand it to him. In other areas of his life, it may not be what I want, like in finances or in relationships or in family or in career, which is fine. But I tell you one thing which I really want is his health. His physique is absolutely incredible. I mean, guys, 6% body fat, Italian six pack, looks incredible. I would listen to him. He is a mentor because whatever he says, I will just do. And whenever I do what he says, good results come. So he's a friend, but he's also a mentor. I'm not paying for the mentorship. You don't always have to pay for it. Sometimes you get a mentor for free, and you get that in different businesses as well. But identifying who has what it is that you want in different areas and humbling yourself. I think the key word, maybe we didn't talk about it, is recognizing that somebody has what you don't have. Now, don't do what typical most people may do, which is hate on them, be jealous of them, and think, oh, well, how do they? And then make excuses why they have it and you don't, because they've done something, illegitimate. Maybe they took a shortcut, and that's all you're focused on is how they have it and you don't, and you got to make up reasons. No, no, no. We've got to change our mindset, and we've got to say, wait a minute, if they've got something I don't have, what can I learn from them?
Yeah, absolutely. And, just to share while we're on that subject, like, I want to share one person that will always be my mentor, but I never.
That's not. We can do that later. Don't have to be on this podcast.
God,
I mean,
please. Do you
okay,
think
no,
I'm
it's
sitting
okay.
here next
Okay.
to you getting soppy about you?
It's fine. It's fine.
Anyway.
You're welcome.
Yes, honey, this is a conversation for another day.
Yes. Just make the second person
Right.
who you'd never forget.
The only person, okay, who's going to be my mentor, and look, besides God, okay, for me, that is who you will always go to, or that's who I always go to for guidance, for support, for faith, for confidence, like, you don't have to talk to your mentor. I mean, you can talk to your mentor if it's God or the higher power, whoever you believe in. They don't necessarily need to talk back to you. But anyway, I wasn't going to say God, but that, came into mind. But the one person who I didn't early in my life see her as a mentor or believe she was a mentor, but certainly I would say from my mid-20s onwards, I started to find so much more respect and have, like, I don't know, just the utmost respect for this woman, and that is my mother. And a lot of you will look at your parents and be like, I follow them in one way but not in another. And to be honest, even growing up, I was like, okay, I didn't have a great, like, a closest relationship with my mom. And it's because in my teenage years, which is really the years I remember the most, I would say, it was a lot of battle. We were like chalk and cheese a lot of the time. And so growing up, I think at that stage, I didn't have a mentor. And I think this is why I also went off the rails a little bit. I didn't have any older siblings. My cousin sisters or cousin brothers who were older than me, they were all boxes. Remember that word?
Boxes.
Yeah, the really, like, smart and geeky, like,
Oh.
very like A students, straight A students type of people.
Geeks.
Yeah, basically
Well,
boxes.
should I say that?
I don't know. Sorry if you're watching. Anyway, and so, I feel like I didn't have anyone. I didn't have anyone to, like, take me down a better path. So I was supposed to go through whatever I went through growing up in high school and my colleges and whatever. But coming now to the more maturity level in my life and whatever I've been through, I realized, like, my God, my mom is the strongest woman that I know. I want to be a strong woman. My mom has sacrificed a lot. She's looked after her in-laws, my grandparents, and my granddad's 99. He's turning 100 next month, guys. Like, and he's still fit and healthy.
Yep.
I want to be that kind of woman. Like, my mom, she's so streetwise. Like, no one could scam her.
She's Kenyan.
She's Kenyan.
I'm born in Kenya.
I
Indian
want to
born
be
in Kenya.
like that. Is that she's financially, like, just so always good. Like, travels the world, goes holiday when she wants, but was always just working a normal job. Like, I want to be like that financially. Like, I see her as my mentor now for so many different reasons. And so, you got to also look around you in your circle, who is around you, and follow the best things about those people in order for you to grow and become better yourself. So I just wanted to share that.
I absolutely agree. And, my mother-in-law, I always say to Rupa, I just hats off to her. She is very street smart. She's very clued on. She's very forward thinking. She's unique. She sees things through and, goes straight to the point.
Yeah.
And, she is. And, the long and short of it is this: look, no one succeeds alone. Mentors accelerate growth and prevent. They have the hurt. They've gone through mistakes. They've seen the hard times, and they can help you to not do that. And if you reach out to people, they're more than willing to help. There's a way of reaching out to them. Maybe we're not hate on them. Reach out to them. So I'd say it's not optional. It's essential for to accelerate everything. And like I said, mentorship can sometimes come. I mean, I've had to pay for it. I've paid personal trainers, thousands and thousands of pounds. It's been worth it. You get much more. Myself and Rupa, we've had a personal mentor, a coach, for 6 months. That cost tens of thousands. It was worth it. We paid for a Forex course. We had mentorship. That cost, multiple tens of thousands.
Yeah.
And then sometimes in businesses,
Yeah.
like in network marketing, you get a mentor for free. And we've had mentors in different companies
Amazing mentors.
for a number of years, and absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
We may not agree with everything in other areas of their life they do. That's fine. But I'll tell you one thing: in business or in building a business or relationship building, or those kind of things, we can take note and we can counsel, and we can listen to them. So mentors can see what you can't.
Exactly.
They shorten the curve. They, you're doing something. Your mind is focused, but an outsider from a bird's eye perspective can give you a different opinion. You just have to scout them out. You have to find them. Or they say, when the student is ready,
Yeah, the teacher appears. Exactly. And if you're asking yourself, like, well, where do you find a mentor? There's so many places where you can go, so many things you can do, search, seek groups on Facebook, where, there's a community of people who are, maybe they have a common interest, same as yourself. Go to events. If you're looking to get into properties, go to these property events and find the mentors and speak to the people who are on stage. Don't be afraid to ever go and approach someone. That is one thing I will tell you guys. If you're at an event or you're somewhere and you've got an opportunity to speak to someone who you idolize or someone who you feel like, wow, is really inspiring you, go up, introduce them. Like, do not pass over an opportunity where you never know, you may actually get to work with them. Even if not work with them, you may get to have some kind of relationship, build some kind of rapport with them. Like, this is everything, like being with the right people, meeting the right people is everything. But also I would say it doesn't even have to be someone that you see in person. It doesn't have to be someone that personally knows you. We listen to our mentors all the time on audio. Kevin Trudeau, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn,
Abraham Hicks this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that is mentorship. That is guidance. That is growth. So don't feel like, oh, you have to physically be there with someone. Someone's got to call you on the phone every day. You've got to go see someone physically. No. Mentorship could be found anywhere. You just have to seek the right places.
I mean, ideally, yes. If you have an accountability partner, I mean, that could be a form of mentorship. But if you're paying for, like I had a PT, every time I go to gym, I'll go and do a workout. What have you eaten yesterday? And then he'll grill me. That's good. We had a mentor for several months. Every week should check in. We do calls. What have you done this week? We'll be like, some positive pressure.
Yeah.
You may not want that. That's fine. Because I have a friend who I speak to, and we speak every day almost. And what's going? Okay, you're going to do this gym today, all right? I'm getting a bit. I want to bulk up. I want to just cut a bit there or whatever. And then and that'd be a friendly chat. And I love that form of mentorship. I was at badminton a few weeks ago. I started playing badminton, and I remember just one of the guys was speaking to me. I was speaking to him, and he was telling me about when you are dropping the shuttle from a back distance. I know you're always going to do that. He goes, mix it up, and I implemented that, and my games got much better. And so that was like a little quick 20-30 second mentorship, but I was looking at improving my game and looking and learning from people who are playing at a very higher level than me. So it comes in different forms. And if you are ready to seek out the person, and hey, like I said, we have mentors who, like, for example, couples will love to be like them. Some of them may be younger than us. Most of them are older than us, or all the same age, but we see that. Or someone's in health, or someone's in career, someone's like, you can identify someone's strengths. And it's just a question of asking them, how did you do that? Or could you help me? more than likely they're going to say yes. Come and sit down. Let's go through it.
Exactly. And one thing to also consider, guys, mentorship is a two-way road. Like, you can't just say, oh, I want that person to mentor me, like I choose him or I choose her. They've also got to look at you and they're going to be like, well, are they coachable and teachable?
Yeah.
Do they have a good work ethic? Are they willing to listen? Are they going to implement what I'm teaching them? Because otherwise, I don't want to waste my time. Time is so valuable for mentees and for mentors. So you've got to understand, if you want to attract that right mentor to work with you, as Vinay said, once a student appears, no, what's it?
The student is ready.
Once a student is ready, the teacher will appear.
In this whole mentorship, type thing, it's really and truly about recognizing that people who have gone a certain journey, they will know of the pitfalls. People who have, they have something which you don't know. They know something you don't know. And by listening to them, you can also benefit from what they have, had the success of. And, it's a shortcut, and it's something which, like I said, if you don't have a mentor, I'm not saying stop this call and right, go online and say paid mentorship right now. No, it's about seeking out the mentor. It's about finding the correct mentor. And, they're everywhere. They're all over the place. I'm just wondering the kind of mentors you've had, Rupert, in like we've had in business. How about in health?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have a lot of people that I follow on social media when it comes to like fitness, health, so I wouldn't say for me, and it depends on your priorities. It depends on what area you want to excel in or what area you want to focus on. I personally don't have one for fitness and health, but I've got to say you are more of a coach or mentor to me in
Well, let me
that
tell you why. Let
department.
me tell you why. The reason why. The actual truth. I'm Punjabi. You know, we, our food, our diet is roti chapatis, thick, big. All kinds of curries, and they're very high in carbs, low in fat. So generally, Punjabis are bigger, bulkier, and fatter. And God made Gujaratis in a very different way. He made them quite lean. Their food, if you see these, I'm going to name some few you may not understand, but tepala, fafara, and all this other stuff. It's light as a feather. Their rotis are like this big. You can have 10 and you think it's a starter for a Punjabi. So genetically, Rupa has been gifted. I'd always say, and Rupa's brothers as well. Rupa's family, actually, anyone in Gujarati, generally speaking. I don't think there's
No, you
anyone
do get, of
overweight in your
course.
family. Not many, just a few.
I don't even think there is anyone who's overweight in my family that I
Literally,
can
yeah.
think of. But, genetics, DNA plays a big part. But also, I don't know, I've been one of those lucky people that I can just eat cheesy chips, burgers, pizzas, and like it wouldn't go anywhere. Having said that, since having both the children, it has changed. So, yes, I do my workouts, boxing, whatever I can, wherever I can get in my fitness, I definitely do. But yeah, in terms of like mentorship in other areas, like I have women that I follow, the oh my god, Afghan Khalifa. Like, she is an incredible lady on Instagram who I follow. Eleanor Cardone. Like, I follow these incredible women.
And her husband, Grant
Oh, of
Cardone,
course.
couple goals.
Oh my God,
Incredible.
big time couple goals. So, yes, I do listen to these people's podcasts. I look at their lifestyle and I'm like, I want that lifestyle. I want to experience that lifestyle. I want to have that lifestyle. And this is what keeps me really, really inspired. So, again, in love and relationships, like, you can find different people in different areas, and we hope that we can also help people. Like, we're not perfect by far. We have some areas of strength, some areas of weakness, but we are only trying to get better. And that's what you want to do as a mentee. You want to get better in whatever area is you're looking to improve. And guess what? You may also supersede your mentor at one point. You may also start having better results than them.
And they're going to be happy for you if you're the right mentor.
If they're the right mentor, they will be happy for you. They will encourage you to keep going further, to keep progressing, to keep growing bigger. If they're not the right mentor, then you will just know, by their actions, words, how they speak, whatever. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with outgrowing someone that maybe you've been with for a few years and then finding someone else. Who's going to give you those next level results. Go to the next stage of your life.
Tony Robbins says, if you're looking for a mentor, find someone who's got outstanding results, not just good. Because if you have outstanding, then your results will be good. If they're good, then your results will be average. So find someone outstanding. And, this whole concept, I remember listening to one of my other mentors, like David Manitier, Holton Buggs. And Holton Buggs says that, from a young age, I think this whole, kind of coach, mentorship or copying someone comes from when we were at school. We were told, we were all told, do not copy, right? If you copy someone, you're in trouble. You're going to get, you could be penalized. You could be, you're going to have detention or whatever, or you could fail the exam. You've plagiarized.
That was me all the time.
Me too. So we were told that. But did you know that if you sit next to a bright student and the questions to the answer are the correct ones, well, if you copy him, are you not going to get the same result? You are going to get the same result. Yes, I understand the concept that they want you to know what you're talking about and you have to work it out, of course. But generally speaking, if you were to copy someone who's successful, you'll have much better results. See, the alternative is that you go figure out on yourself. Now, that takes time. That takes a lot of time. It can take a decade or two more. You're going to shortcut that time period. So this whole concept about copying someone and it's back, no. I believe you should copy. Yes, there are some variances. Like I know I can't eat what Rupert eats, or I can't eat what my Italian friend eats. Well, number one, my Italian friend, he eats meat. I'm not going to eat meat. I'm vegetarian. Rupert, if I eat the food she eats, I'll probably gain weight because everyone's body's different. But generally speaking, the gist of what they're going to be telling me is something I want to copy, something I want to emulate because I want those results. And, for me, having a mentor and, I'm just thinking back, throughout our adult lives, when we've become intentional. We've had mentors unintentionally or coaches. We've had, there'll be a period where for 1 year we'll have no mentor, for example, 6 months. But then there'll be a period when we've paid for mentorship for the next 2 years, or we're in a business for the next 5 years. We've had a mentor, day to day, or there'll be a mentorship where we're purely online and we're listening to Les Brown and Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and reading the book, and that's been our mentor for that period. So it's quite seasonal as well.
I remember, talking about sort of stealing and copying and all that stuff. It just occurred to me. Do you remember that audio by Austin Godsey? Lie, cheat, and steal.
What incredible audio!
Wow.
If you guys listen to that audio,
Yeah.
and the whole, in summary, lie to yourself.
Yeah.
About how successful you are. Lie to yourself how great you're going to be and how much weight you've lost and what you're going to do in life and how you're going to be the perfect partner, which I hopefully am. You got to lie to yourself. You got to lie to yourself.
Keep lying to yourself, baby.
Keep lying to us every day.
It's a work in progress.
And then cheat. What's the cheat one is? The shortcut.
Yeah, there's the shortcut. Follow things. Follow people who have found ways to find the shortcut to the shortcut.
Yeah, they've done it, and it's taken them 10 years to know something.
Yeah.
And you can learn off them in 6 months.
Exactly.
They've condensed 10 years.
Yeah. Duplicate.
Yeah. So lie and cheat.
Yeah.
And the last thing is steal.
Information.
Steal information.
Yeah.
Steal what they've got. Take it.
Yeah.
If you, for example, I never forget once when I joined network marketing and, people have their own style of their own quotes, their own, social media and what they say and do. Or jokes they say. And I'll never forget once I was at a business meeting and basically this person who's my friend who's following his mentor saying the exact same things and on his social media copied one of his posts. I'm like, you just copied his post. He goes, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. It's called duplication.
Yeah.
You duplicate success. And because I was new, I was like, well, you want to be original? Well, you want to be creative? And I'm like, no. Why would you want to? Yes, to a certain extent, of course. Because once you learn, you develop your own style. So, guys, I think maybe we can conclude on the importance of a mentor. And, if you haven't got one, get one.
Absolutely. Find one, seek one, be coachable and teachable in order to get the right mentor that you want. And remember, different mentors, different areas, just grow yourself in different areas. follow the right people, and you will see progress in your life, no doubt.
Great.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys. Like, share, comment as always, and see you on the next episode.
See you.